This man of the top percent in a country where people who look like him have 6 cents of a dollar compared to white counterparts, was born to a teenage mother in a Jim Crow South. Oh my God.
What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchet REACT, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, C?
Today we're back with another American reaction. It's Black History Month. We have been covering the highs, the lows, and we feel that this topic right here is a topic that we don't hear about often, right?
We really don't, especially over here on this side. We be talking even about the good and the ugly. I feel like this one is going to really open up some people's eyes about being black in America.
Because honestly, I don't know that much about the 1% of the people who black. So I'm super excited about this video. If you're new to us and we're new to you, make sure you scroll down, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the post notification bell because we're on the road to 100K. And we cannot get there without you guys. All right, join the family. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
What are the stereotypes of the 1%?
Entitled,
selfish,
me,
white,
They don't play by the rules.
not thinking about others that may have come from a different side of the track.
Not thinking
It's
about others.
stereotypes.
Okay.
Oh, but they unstereotyping today. That's what I'm talking about.
I like that.
the 1%, as you well know, is overwhelmingly white. We're talking about the top tier of Americans who have and own a majority of the nation's wealth. These are people who are uber rich. There are
Minimum
of the nation's wealth.
Minimum. Wait. Let me go up. Pause it.
Okay.
These are people who are uber rich.
Minimum
Household net worth, boy.
7 million. I don't need to make no more money for the rest of my life. That's the minimum. Lord, Jesus. Minimum, babe.
Yeah, I know.
Minimum.
I know. It's done. It's on the screen. Yep, it's a lot, ain't it? But yeah.
Jeez.
There are a few African Americans who have made it to that tier.
Yep.
But compared to the number of whites in the 1%, they are literally a percent of the 1%.
So why is the 1% so white? It has to do with something called the racial wealth gap.
For every dollar of wealth held by the typical white household, the typical African American household owns only 6 cents of wealth.
6 cents. You heard right. So how did we get here?
When you think about wealth, you have to understand that it's generational, that wealth left over generations actually compounds and builds and grows. African Americans were held as slaves, and
I talked to some of my white friends, and bro, they grandparents still have them set up that they got money they never touched yet. You feel me? So I'm like, yeah, you got it good.
Right.
You got it real good.
That's why anyone who we talk to, we're always talking about our legacy. What we want to, leave for our great-great-grandchildren.
Facts.
I feel like people today, they're not really all for themselves. But I feel like when it comes to their goals, especially if they're single, they always, not always, but... And again, I'm speaking to the people I have come in communication with.
Yeah, get that straight.
We're not just YouTubers.
Right.
Okay? So, the people, they say, oh, I want to do this with my life and do this, and I want to have this amount of money. I want to live in a penthouse. And I'm like, hold on. Let's bring it back. What about your family? Where your family come from? How was your childhood? What struggles did your parents have? Do you want that for your children if you're going to have that? Your children got to start all over, or are you going to pass the baton? Like what is it? You got to leave something.
Then they have people who say they don't want their kids to fall right into the wealth bracket because they want them to understand what struggling is.
Or hard work.
Or hard work. I think if you prepare them at a young age what hard work is, and they won't have to go into the life with a slave mindset or thinking they have to work for somebody whenever they get a certain age. They can already have that boss mentality. They can already have that network. They can already have that that hustle mentality. So teaching them at a young age is going to prepare them to maintain a business that you leave behind them instead of making them believe they can't get the bins.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. And we are also aware that not everybody is going to be a boss.
Nah, facts.
But they can have a top level position. They can, they can be a person who open doors for other people and be at the top. It's just, we got to get out of the mindset of we're going to do this with our life. What are you going to leave behind?
Right.
That's what it's about.
They weren't allowed to earn any income that is generational. That wealth left over generations actually compounds and builds and grows. African Americans were held as slaves and they weren't allowed to earn any income. They weren't allowed to own things at one point in this history, and that actually has contemporary effects.
Right. Effects Eddie Brown knew all too well, but was able to overcome.
That's a nice foundation.
Then we bought the building next door because since we didn't do that, we bought this. And then just September ago, we bought the next one too. So Brown Capital is basically all three townhouses.
Now, real estate.
They say they buying a block.
Real estate and owning land is one of the first things slaves got involved in whenever they became free. So if it's been working for them, enslaved people, they have it to where today real estate is like one of the biggest booming networks that's going to prepare your family for life if you do it and work that thing correctly. So I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
Today, Eddie is the CEO of Brown Capital, a firm with over $8 billion in assets under management. Along with his wife Sylvia, the Browns are hoteliers, patrons of the black arts, and philanthropists.
I love it.
Eddie and Sylvia Brown led the way towards making this building a reality, one of the largest gifts from an African American family in this nation's history.
I want to say this right here. They highlighted how this couple are patrons of black arts. I believe that people of other races be feeling left out when, they hear black people say things like black arts, black book clubs, black libraries, black stories.
We about to cut
I feel like they feel left out when they say that, but I don't think you guys understand how important it is for my community to support my community.
Right.
If my community don't support our community, does not mean that we don't support other communities, but we have to really support our community.
We have to put ourselves first at some point.
Yeah.
At some point.
Gentrification is going to continue to happen. In historic areas, people are going to continue to move into the communities and sell things that
we could be selling ourselves.
So it's really very, very important, especially for us to thrive. And even with me explaining that a little bit, I don't think some people will understand. But
babe, tell them when we go live.
Oh, we go live twice.
Oh, we're doing it twice. Yeah, we're doing it twice now. So if y'all want to really dive into this conversation, like you can always bring it back up into the conversation. But we go live twice a week, and might want to type in on the days.
On Saturdays at 12 a.m. and 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. So y'all don't have no excuse to talk about I miss you live. We having to.
Right. So another reason why we always push the button on our channel when it comes to slavery is because the black community knows that at one point in life we had nothing. At one point in life we had literally nothing. Everything was stripped from us. Our families were stripped from us, so we had to really start all over again. So you come into a position and now that you are very successful and you know your history, it gives you a lot more leverage to, maintain what you have and know what to do with it. You know what I'm saying? So that's important.
And know what to do with it. Baby, that was good.
That's a bar.
You was talking right.
I feel that.
So you were born to a teenage mother in the Jim Crow South.
Woo!
On the wrong side.
Wait a minute.
On the wrong side of the track.
Wait a minute.
Which means
I'm gonna have to loud that one up a little bit.
Oh, wait a minute, babe. Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. I can't even contain myself. This man of the top percent in a country where people who look like him have 6 cents of a dollar compared to white counterparts was born to a teenage mother in a Jim Crow South. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Every reason to stop. Every reason to stop.
The largest gifts from an African American family in this nation's history. So you were born to a teenage mother in the Jim Crow South, on the wrong side of the track.
on the wrong side of the track, which means, as they say down south, dirt poor.
But there's another concept, though, that people say, pick yourself up by your bootstraps. This is America.
This goes to show you that it wasn't that long ago. History was literally in our backyard at one point. Like, literally in our backyard. It was not that long ago.
That could be us. That just gave me hope. I ain't from the Jim Crow era, but I'm from the South.
Yeah.
My mother was a teenage mother. I was born on the wrong side of the tracks. The wrong side of the tracks.
Our pastor used to say, people make that statement. What they don't realize is many people don't have boots. So
Bruh.
you got to help
Bruh.
get the boots. Then maybe they can lift themselves up.
Is there an obligation, particularly in communities of color, to give back?
I feel very strongly that there should be. I mean, how did they get there? Surely a lot of it was talent, but somebody had to look out for them and help them along the way.
Despite their success,
Every day.
the Browns have still faced certain barriers to wealth creation.
Shout out, hey, hold on, man. Shout out to my strong people who out there who don't have no help. I'm talking about none. They don't have nobody they can look back to it and say, you know what, I appreciate you, I thank you, I applaud you, that you did something for me at one time in my life where I really, truly needed you. Shout out to them people, man, because y'all don't realize how strong they have to be. It could be a single mother, a single father, somebody who just came out of a prison system. You know what I'm saying? Nobody sent him none on his books, never. And he still made it out. Like, they got a lot of strong people out here that just don't really get their flowers, and they strong as hell, bro.
How did they get there? Surely a lot of it was talent, but somebody had to look out for them and help them along the way.
Despite their success, the Browns have still faced certain barriers to wealth creation. Home ownership is one of the pillars of wealth, and blacks continue to face discrimination in the housing market.
We've sold a couple of homes over the years, and I remember the realtor said, let's take down photos so one seeing the home that's white won't recognize it as being a black homeowner. And I was just shocked. We were shocked. They said family photos around, they all should come down if you want to get
A sale.
What that sound like? If you want to get a sale, what that sound like? When people get denied on jobs and applications, it'd be like, I don't think you will fit the job description.
Ooh, let me tell, babe. Should I tell him? Babe, should I tell him?
I don't know what you got. I know you got some stories.
My last story of my last interview when I was last looking for a job.
Oh, that's a bar,
Before
man.
we went 100% full in.
Yeah, that's a bar. Yeah.
So I put in about 100 applications. I remember I counted.
Y'all heard?
About 100 applications.
Put in a lot of applications.
When we moved here. When we moved to Texas. I was overly qualified for the positions that I was applying for because I ain't really needed the job, you know? So I noticed something. I was like, I'm not going to put my race on here. I'm going to keep my name.
Oh, that one. I remember that one.
I'm going to keep my name. And I think I put my maiden name on there. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna try to appear, just
ghost.
I don't want nobody to discriminate against me. So I actually received a callback, and I was receiving callbacks during that time, but it got up into the point that I had to do my in-person interview. I went through like three rounds.
3 phone calls. She went to 3 phone interviews, and she bodied it. I'm talking about
And now look, I know I'm relaxed on this camera, but baby, I can get up there with my voice.
You know how them symbols be on grandma's car porch, and the wind be going through it, and it sounds so peaceful? That's how she sounded on the phone on the interviews. It sounded so angelic. It was nice.
Yeah. My vocabulary is very up there. But it got to the in-person interview, and I just remember the look of shock. Needless to say, I didn't get that job.
Right.
And it was very promising up into that interview.
Money was good. The job fit exactly what she was going for. I mean, it was just perfect. And then when she made it up there, it's like she kept calling. I think you started calling back to see if you got the job after that, huh?
Like,
okay. Like, what happened?
We had a great interview.
We went good for a few weeks, and
White won't recognize it as being a black homeowner. And I was just shocked. We were shocked. They said family photos around, they all should come down if you want to get
a sale.
Well, a good price.
So I'll take you into the library now.
That's crazy.
It's one of my favorite rooms.
Even
education hasn't leveled the playing field. Today, blacks with a bachelor's degree have less than half the wealth of whites who didn't graduate from college.
Talk about it.
I had 2 wonderful parents. They really strived for excellence. Now, my father was a neurosurgeon, and at the time there were only 11 in the country. He could not practice in white hospitals. Wow. He was turned down time after time. They would not say it was a race issue, but we knew.
Sheila Johnson became one of the highest net worth black women in the United States with the help of a game-changing television network, BET.
Oh, snap.
She helped build BET from 2 hours of programming a week to a major network worth $2.3 billion by the time it was sold to Viacom in 2001. So you are one of the, I would imagine, few black women to own a property like this.
Probably. You know, I don't know. I'm proud.
Yeah.
I'm very proud.
Is this more fun than BET?
Oh, yes. Absolutely, because I'm in total control. And it took me 10 years to get approvals.
Wow, that seems like a particularly long time.
It's a story that I think as an African American, they didn't want me to do this. And it was the fight of my life. I've never been more frightened in my life.
Despite the pedigree that you have, despite...
They didn't care.
They didn't care.
If you are a person of color...
Now, I know some people be buttoning issues that they shouldn't have anything to say publicly about. So, I just shared how I had to change up some things on my application to even, get to those interviews. Yeah. This woman of this caliber, she's a part of the top percent. She had the money. It took her 10 years to get her approval.
10 years, y'all.
Because she knew, and she knew why it took her 10 years to get her approval, even with the pedigree that she has.
Even with the money she had.
So stop saying these things don't exist.
Oh, they do.
Systemic racism does exist.
You can have as much money as you want. You're still who you are. And that was a lesson I really learned. But there is a loneliness that very wealthy African Americans do feel in their lives.
Check on your
when
people,
it all
man.
comes down to it, there are very few people in that category.
How do we diversify the 1%?
I think it's really incumbent upon us who have achieved some modicum of success to make it our business to mentor and to uplift.
There is no reason why we shouldn't have more people of color in the 1%, showing that, that their talent can be reflected in terms of financial well-being. The data actually shows that people of color who are in job-creating positions hire more people of color.
It's about power. If you have the money, through society you gain power. People start to notice you. Use that power appropriately.
Yes.
Reach out and
Yes.
feel secure within yourselves to be able to go out and help others. And that's the only way we're going to get stronger.
Y'all heard her, right? She said, use that power. Don't abuse that power. Use that power to
it.
help people. Some people abuse it because they just don't do what they need to do with it. And
Don't flash it.
I mean,
Use it.
Use it. You got to use it to the best of your knowledge. You
Ooh,
feel me?
I like
This was a good one, y'all.
I like. Ooh.
Bruh. Let me know if y'all used to
Baby.
watch. I know we got some older people on our channel who watch this. So let us know if y'all used to watch the BET lady back in y'all day. Before our BET came up.
Yeah, before it,
The 106 in Perk.
Because I don't even remember that theme song. B-E-T. That's all. I don't remember that.
Yeah, they
I
tried
must
it.
was too young for that one.
That
but,
jingle was very
yeah.
jingling, I see.
B-E-T. Nah.
We're gonna do it like this. B-E-T. Yeah, let's go. Send it out, send it out.
No,
It's a
I remember-
tape. We got it.
Oh, I was gonna start singing Comic View. Comic View on BET. Remember that?
Come on,
Yeah.
Yeah, that was hard. That was
'cause,
hard.
That's one of the first jingles I remember.
Mhm.
But this was enlightening. We are an ambitious couple. We've reached a level of success, but to see that level of success, especially the man, we come.
Yeah. So there is a big wealth gap in the community in America, right? And even if you don't have kids, still put yourself in position to where your income and your credit and everything of that such that helps you become great in this life can be beneficial and help the next person, whether it's a buddy, a friend, a child, a niece, or nephew, anything of that such,
Yeah.
Your money is power. You have power. You can do great things.
Yes, do great things.
Do great things.
All right. We hope you guys enjoyed this video with us. Like this video, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell. We have enabled our super thanks if you like to support the channel that way, as well as our join feature to become a VIP member of the channel. Send in your reaction request through our description box below. We'll see you soon.
Peace.